Welcome to Common Sense Rhode Island. This is a program where we try to make sense out of the policies that affect your life and come up with common sense solutions. I'm Representative Patricia Morgan, and today we have with us Doug Ouimette, a small business owner. He actually owns some Subways. And we're going to be talking about the minimum wage and how it affects small business owners, but also how it affects our economy. Welcome.
Hi.
I'm glad you came.
Thank you.
You are a Subway owner.
Correct.
So you employ how many people? What kinds of employees?
It'll be 10 or less per store.
Okay.
And mostly younger kids, high school, I'd say would be half. And then it could be any age from that point on, but commonly 20s, 30 years old for your shift leader positions or store manager positions.
So teenagers, college students
Correct.
Mostly.
Correct.
And then a couple of older folks to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's what you're telling me, okay. We have actually raised the minimum wage in Rhode Island every year for the past 5 years.
Yep.
And there's a proposal in the legislature right now to raise it again to 10.10. I know that when they do polls on the minimum wage, most of the people are in favor of it.
Right.
It makes sense to them that people get more money, right? Everybody wants more money. But I think we forget to educate people in what that means then, as far as jobs go and as far as productivity and progress in our job market.
Right.
So let's just explore, first of all, your business, and then we'll talk generally about the minimum wage and what other solutions might be to just constantly raising the minimum wage. All right, so let's just talk about, you have a small restaurant.
Yep.
Everybody knows it, Subways.
Yep.
Love the BMTs.
Yep.
So, and the meatball sandwiches. But, okay, so tell us how it has affected you.
Okay, well, you've got X amount of dollars that come into a store. And over the last 5 years, which is when the minimum wage has gone up, sales have remained flat or gone down a little bit. So.
And that's due to increased competition, the economy?
I'd say both. Increased competition.
Have your prices gone up?
Yes, they have. Not as much as, we're still a very, very good buy, a good purchase, a good value. But for instance, just due to minimum wage, the $5 foot long is now $6. And people come in when we have it at $6, people come in and think it's a great deal. So if you're getting a little bit more money, but the cost of everything going up, I don't know who's actually making more money. I think where the deception comes in is, and why people obviously think more money is good, is cause without effect. People picture, I'm going to make all this much more money, and I'll be able to still go to a particular department store and get that $5 blouse. I'll be able to go to a fast food restaurant and get that $5 sub, which that's the effect.
Yeah, everything starts rising, right?
Yes.
I know you say the $5 foot long went to $6. Part of that is the cost of the wages. Part of it is the cost of the other things you have to buy as well,
Correct.
right? I've been to the grocery store, so you're not getting it at 1990 prices. Your ingredients, you're paying today's prices for them. So.
Correct.
And that's driven also. So those prices also have a higher minimum wage in them.
Correct. It's the folks who pack the turkey, I'm assuming, the folks who do whatever it is that has to happen to get my store to operate, the products, the services. For instance, the fella that comes and maintains the equipment, he's got 2 workers. They were making approximately $11 an hour, but they're not very happy anymore because minimum wage is going to go to $10.10. So why would you want
Sure, they can go to a fast food restaurant and make that, yeah.
Yeah, you want fries with that? Give me $15 an hour. So he's finding that work productivity is going down. I find work productivity is going down in my better employees. Work ethic is work ethic. But when I've got a shift leader, per se, making $9 an hour when it was $7.40, so now that it's $9.60, that person gets $10.50. But now it's getting to a point when it goes to $10.10, I just can't afford it. So what do? Everybody gets paid the same now. And so the person who does more for me has more responsibility, that older person, that person in their 30s, doesn't want to work for minimum wage. But
Right.
in theory, if $7.40 was still minimum wage and they were making $10 an hour, they're making $2.60.
Sure, they'd feel like they had
feel like
accomplished
it.
something, they'd made
Correct.
progress.
And you don't sit with your employees and tell them what you make or what you don't make. They, like the government, think I just got more money than I know what to do with. So they always feel like I could give everybody what they need. We all need to make more money.
Why don't you just raise prices?
I thought that was kind of funny because I tried to confront or speak with the people in charge down in Providence, and they suggested
People
that.
on the governor's staff.
They suggested that. And I'm saying, okay, so what's the point? People can't afford to buy stuff, so let's pay them more money. Great. So let's pay them more money. Effect, everything costs more. If you get $1 more an hour and something has
And
to...
everything else goes up $1.20.
$2, $1.10,
Yeah,
you're actually making less money.
that's right.
Now,
So in effect, it kind of becomes an indirect tax. The minimum wage makes everything go up. It's an indirect tax
Correct.
on the economy.
correct.
Right?
That's all it is.
And so people are making more, but they're paying more for everything that they
Right.
buy. So what's the point of it?
You know, and when I spoke to the powers that be and said, well, if you're going to raise it and you want to get more money in the economy, make it pre-tax dollars. If you're going to go from 8 to 9, get them $40 at $8 an hour, and then the last dollar, give them $40.
Oh, that wouldn't work because the government always needs more money.
So,
Never stops needing more of our money.
Correct, and that's all I'm finding out, that if you're going to get $15 an hour, you're going to take home 10 and the government gets 5.
Well, let me ask you this. You're wealthy, right? I mean, you own a company. You're a
Yeah.
small businessman. Aren't all small businessmen very wealthy?
People don't go out of business at record rates because we're just tired of making so much money. Truly, they imagine what we make, and it's a struggle to run a tight ship. And then you end up having to let someone go because you can't afford 10 employees, so 9 has to be there. And you have one less person when you'd like to have 3, you have 2. Customer service suffers, but inevitably one person has lost their job directly from the increase of minimum wage.
Yeah. I don't know if you're willing to kind of give us a figure. Do you make $250,000 a year on your subway?
Much less than a third of that.
No. No, in other words.
No.
And you're right. At some point, it just becomes diminishing returns, and that's when companies go out of business.
Correct.
Because it's just not worth it anymore.
Correct.
All right. We're going to take a break right there, and we'll be right back.